What does a recent Supreme Court decision mean for the budget process? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me this hour is New Jersey State Assemblyman Declan O'Scanlan. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about what this decision means. It calls for an additional $500 million to go to certain school districts in the state of New Jersey, and you're the Assembly Republican budget officer. What does this mean for the budget process? You've already been discussing the budget for several months at this point. Does this throw a wrench into the budget discussions?
It does to a certain extent. We have put a lot of time in based on the parameters that we had to work within because we didn't know what the Supreme Court decision was going to be. And it is, as all our budgets have been recently, a pretty tight budget to begin with. So to have this thrown at us, and it really is the Supreme Court usurping the legislature's power and the executive's power. So it's very unfortunate. They are deciding our priorities. And who's to say that an extra $500 million, in fact, I will say an extra $500 million won't make any difference in those school districts. But $500 million less across the rest of the budget could absolutely make a difference as far as property tax relief goes, school aid to other schools that are not in those Abbott districts or former Abbott districts. So it does present some challenges. That having been said, I think we can surmount those challenges. This is a good budget that the governor gave us to begin with, very responsible. We're spending money. It's a new concept in Trenton, unfortunately a revolutionary concept that we're spending only money that we have. So we started out from a good place. So if you're starting from there and you're not starting from a place where we've already fudged the numbers, which is the way budgeting is usually done in New Jersey, it would be even more difficult. But it was a responsible budget to begin with. So we'll be able to get there. So
does that additional $500 million come out of revenue that was intended for other purposes, or does it come out from the unanticipated revenue that had come in from tax money that came in April and beyond?
We are currently working on that right now as we speak virtually. And I think it's going to be some sort of combination. We have to balance out all the things we're trying to do in this budget. We want to add some more money to property tax relief because folks the beleaguered property taxpayers and taxpayers in general in New Jersey have had enough and pay enough. So we really need to keep a focus on that, while at the same time dealing with some of the other less sexy issues like pension payments and that sort of thing, which the administration wisely, going against what would have been politically advantageous when we first saw those unanticipated revenues, said, no, we have to be responsible before we can be political, which was a really good thing to hear from an administration, and I fully concurred. So we had a combination of property tax relief and additional pension payments that we advocated for with that unanticipated revenues. This extra $500 million, $500 million that we have to spend, that we have to waste on these school districts because the Supreme Court is forcing us to, could have some impact there, but we're going to resist that. We're going to try to find economies in other places and see if we can't take care of it from there. And then we have to deal with our friends on the other side of the aisle who seem to have some of their own ideas as well. They've kind of used this decision to kind of go off to the races, both the unanticipated revenues from the week before and the Supreme Court decision to say, let's spend billions of more dollars and advocate for higher taxes. And that is just the wrong knee-jerk reaction. And the taxpayers in New Jersey ought to be very concerned with that. And we're going to be there fighting that. But it's something that we really do have to fight, unfortunately.
Now, you said that this is the wrong decision from the Supreme Court, and you said that this is a waste going to these certain school districts, these 31 different school districts throughout the state of New Jersey. Talk to us a little bit about a thorough and efficient education and how you feel that the money should be spent and how these schools should be educating our children in a way that you feel would be thorough and efficient, and that these kids should be educated in a way that they still are getting a fair and decent and thorough and efficient education.
Absolutely. I don't believe any child should be given a poor education by virtue of the place of his birth. I'll start with that. But we've had a failed process up to now. We've dumped money into these districts, and it doesn't make any difference. Some districts do very well with less money that are similar demographically. We need to figure out what they're doing and do that right rather than throw money at the situation.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Assemblyman Declan O'Scanlan. I'm Jill Horner.